Hey sleepyheads, welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of Bed by 9. In this episode, Hev and I discuss Episodes 8 and 9 of WandaVision, as well as Episodes 6 and 7 of American Gods. Most importantly, we talk about everyone's favorite rapper releasing his not first, but second video game console. So create yourself a libation, pour it in your giraffe cup, and enjoy another episode of Bed by 9.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to another episode of Bed by 9. I am one of your hosts. Have you had a drink today? And
I'm your other host, Yes.
yes, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm tired. I'm
Same.
a little warm because it's 87 degrees in Phoenix.
So I think it's time that we move to your winter mansion.
Yeah. I think it's getting hot enough where we can move to the inside quarters.
Just your winter mansion. We'll just leave this house.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then move
My
all the way.
vacation home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can just move over to that one.
Can't wait to drive there every weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that.
Maybe I should just get my private jet. Can take us, charter a bus or something.
And when you get your private jet, you can always look up what Wonder Woman did to make it invisible, and then you could just have that parked out right in the front of your house.
Until Wonder Woman makes a good movie, I don't want to reference anything that she does.
Gal Gadot, we love you.
The director's cut is what, coming out in like a week and a half?
For Wonder Woman?
No, for the
Snyder's
Justice
cut?
League.
Yeah. I'm excited. Are you?
I mean, I'll watch it, but like, I don't have high hopes.
I have such.
It's
high
what,
hopes.
4 hours?
Yeah. Let's watch it together.
Fine.
Friendship.
Are you gonna? How many times are you gonna pull out your phone?
As many times as you.
Fine. That's rude.
As many times as you will. Asshole.
So if I don't once, you're not gonna pull
Nope.
out your phone and then okay.
I'm gonna
I'm
be
down for
staring
that.
at you the whole time, not the movie.
Wow.
Just to be like.
It'll probably be your favorite movie of all time.
Oh, shut the fuck up. None gives a fuck about
That's my Alexis impression.
you. So how was your week?
My week was good. I mean, I can't honestly, like, I don't think my brain's working all that well today because I can't remember shit about anything. I played tennis a lot. That's kind of all I remember.
Okay.
The work week itself was fine. I made money and I spent time on a computer. And I think that's about it. How was yours?
It was long.
Yeah.
It was long due to work and personal life spiking up. As soon as you're like, you know what, I'm looking forward to a nice, relaxing vacation coming up. They're like, whatever powers that are at will controlling good things going on in your life, they want to throw a spike in your will, so to speak. So it was a rough week.
You gotta earn this vacation, huh?
I gotta earn this vacation. So it was a rough week. New workouts, new drama, but made it to the weekend. Things are looking up. Things are looking in the clear for the drama. But yeah.
Did we purchase any new shoes this week?
Yeah, sadly, yeah. Literally today.
What did we purchase? Oh, is this the one that you posted on your story?
Yeah, I did. And then the shoes that I won 3 weeks ago, they're supposed to arrive today. They finally shipped.
Oh.
Finally.
Next day air?
Oh my god.
It'll be here?
It's fucking ridiculous. Nike is ridiculous, you guys.
How was you won them? Like what competition do you enter to
Well,
win? Like what do you have to do?
Well, it's the app, right? So it's an app, and you get in line, quote unquote, or they might have a draw, and you get one entry out of I don't know how many people have the app, millions. So if you get chosen, you get lucky enough to buy. Or if you're in your line, you're in the line for that shoe size, and they only have a few 100,000. So if they sell out, you sell out. So if you didn't click fast enough, you didn't click fast enough, and got lucky. Got those pair of shoes.
What's like your success rate when you do these sorts of things?
3%.
So you didn't win. You still had to pay.
Yeah.
Okay. You
I was
got
lucky
the
enough.
opportunity to spend money
Yes.
at their store.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's basically
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they do. Are they overmarked? Like
No,
the
not on
price
the
or-
app. No, but
okay.
the reason they sell out so fast is because resellers and
Resell,
their
yeah.
bots and this, that, and the other. So the shoes that I won 3 weeks ago, they were $100.
Okay.
They are selling right now for $250. So
So it's like trying to secure a PS5. Basically.
yeah.
Like
Uh,
the
but
equivalent.
way worse than trying to get a PS5.
Because they're shoes.
Speaking of that, let's hop, skip, and jump over to the gaming section that we have laid out for you guys today.
Okay.
PS5. How was your success rate this week on getting a PS5?
I mean, not good. I think Walmart did like I want to say it was on Wednesday. They did a drop like at 3 p.m. till 4:30 p.m. Eastern every 10 minutes. So basically, like, you would just get on their page, and as soon as it hit, 3 or 3:10 or 3:20, so on and so forth, you just have to get lucky and try to get it. And
So you failed all 9 times. Is
yeah,
that what I'm hearing? Okay.
one time I was able to add it to my cart. I just wasn't fast enough with adding in my credit card info, so it sold out. And then I don't think we talked about it in the last episode, but I got the closest I ever got with securing it with Best Buy, except I got it added to my cart, all this stuff, like I was going through the checkout process, and then it was time to select the store that you'd pick it up from. And then everything that I had added to the cart, like an extra remote and the games and stuff like that, it was all good. But then when it got to the console, it was like, oh, you have no stores that are actually carrying a console within 150 miles of you. So it wouldn't let me go through with the purchase. And I
You
was like,
could
what?
drive.
What the fuck? No.
Go drive and pick it up.
No,
Have one of your servants
Yeah,
go
right.
pick it up.
I know. I guess
You got 15 people in there
the Best
right
Buy
now.
by my winter mansion
Yeah.
probably had it.
Yeah, you got 15 people in there. They can go and do this on your
So anyway, so that was the most heartbreaking out of all of them, because it was I was so close to that. So yeah, still failing. And the worst part of it is, I'm following Twitter accounts that alert you to this stuff. And then then they send out a tweet afterward. They're like, who secured one today? And then you just I don't know, for further wanting to bring yourself down, I look at the comments and there's people that are like, I got 3. And I was like, God, what a dick. And then, there's people commenting off that, leave some for the rest of us. And then they're like, capitalism sucks. And I'm like, whatever. It is what good for you.
Right.
I don't know what you're doing differently than I am, because as soon as it hits, I'm refreshing sometimes,
It sounds like they have their credit card information already in there and ready.
But I only got to that part once. You can only buy one at a time. So it's these people are
Why weren't you prepared?
because it's Walmart and I'm not going to store my credit card information on Walmart.com. Sorry.
I mean, it sounds like this is what you need to succeed.
Yeah.
And if you're not putting yourself in a position to succeed, all of these motivational classes I've taken to help you have been for
But you know what? I'm more of the mindset of the late and great Aaliyah. And if at first you don't succeed,
1 in a
dust
million.
yourself off and try again.
1 in a million shot. That's what you mean.
I mean, yeah, those are. It's probably worse odds than that.
So how many times? So how many more times of failing is it going to take for you until you go get an Xbox?
To just stop. Oh, I won't get an Xbox.
So you'd rather die without a PlayStation than go get an Xbox?
I mean, I don't think it will ever get to that point. I mean,
Okay.
I could die, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I will die eventually.
Yeah.
I assume in a year's time there will be availability for PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what? Because it got released in November, so I mean, we're still 4 or 5 months into it all, so it'll come eventually, and it's God's timing, not mine. I probably just have other things that I should be doing with my life other than playing a next-gen console that I already have a PS4 and don't need to probably, but whatever. Let me spend my money the way I want to spend my money.
Yeah, man, I'm totally supportive of that. I mean, and I'm supportive. Your 15 servers inside are supportive. So I think we have your back.
Thanks. I'll try harder.
In other game news,
Yeah.
there's two things I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, please.
Because there's two games. There's one game coming out that I wanted to talk about because it touched bases on TV shows that I believe you watched in the past. And then also there's a new game console coming out that tens of us know about.
Okay.
Soulja Boy is making another game console. I don't know if you knew about the first game console.
He made the first one?
Yep.
That was going to be my first question.
And then he's coming out with a second one. The first one flopped immediately.
Sure.
Because it was basically copying other games.
Okay.
And it looked like a Nintendo. Can't remember the exact Nintendo. But this new console, and I actually sent it to you on Instagram because I actually forgot to show you before we got on here. It looks like an Xbox, but with a PlayStation controller. There's no news about what games. There's no news about how it's going to look or what's it going to be, but he's just looking to build it for whatever reason.
Yeah, whoever will buy it.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you, in such a...
He's got that. He's getting that residual money, and he's trying to find a place to put it. And I guess,
to be fair,
does he already have an alcohol line? I would assume that would be like the first thing that you would do.
Yeah.
And then hopefully luck out and sell it for what was it, 700 million, Jay-Z?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Or was that Tidal?
I think Tidal was 300 million.
Yeah, whatever.
And
He
it
made
was
$1 billion.
700 million. Yeah, he made $1 billion in a week.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess maybe he's trying to tap into a market that other rappers have not, and probably for a good reason, because...
How many game consoles can you name right now that, like, different from different companies?
I mean, so you got your Nintendo.
Yep.
You got your PlayStation. You got your Xbox. Those are the main. Then you had, like, Dreamcast back in the day. Sega, right? And
Sega.
then Atari, what was that?
No, that's a different one.
That was
could be
different.
wrong.
Okay.
Now Soulja Cast.
Soulja
Soulja Console. Soulja Console or something. Soulja Cast.
2. Soulja Console 2. Because it's the
Bruh.
second one, apparently.
Bruh, like, are you kidding me?
I don't.
It is such an uphill battle, and you have to fight the... yeah. I can't wait to see how this is going to play out.
What do you think the soundbite is when you, like, turn it on?
You!
You! Dun, dun, dun.
Nah,
I would buy it for that only.
I honestly, I want to know how the games are going to be played on that, and what games are going to be developed.
Yeah, like I can't imagine like a game developer is like. I mean, I guess one, I don't know how much money is it for like a game developer. Like if Street Fighter is making a video game, like, and they make it like a PlayStation exclusive, we'll say, like how much money does it actually cost for them to make it a Xbox compatible disc? I imagine you just put the data on a disc that.
Yeah, it would have to be burned to that,
right?
Yeah.
So it probably doesn't cost them that much, right?
Yeah.
So
there's a whole lot of.
Will they give the rights to this?
They're not going to give the rights.
Soulja Boy Console.
They're going to have it. So it's going to be like C-list games at this point, and then also how you have. It's going to be like branding in grocery stores. So you have Street Fighter, and then you're going to have Sidewalk Brawl, Brawlers.
Right. Which is like Safeway Select's version.
And then even worse, it's going to be like neighborhood discussions. I don't know. Like, it's going to be horrible. I can't wait, honestly. And I just wanted to bring it up because that is hilarious.
I mean, good luck in your adventure, Soulja Boy.
Yep. And if you need if you wanted to sponsor us, I definitely.
I mean, we will give an honest review if you
Yep.
want to send us.
Yes.
We play video games.
Send it to us in whatever cardboard cutout box that you're gonna have for it.
It's just like a Hasbro Life. Or like Shoots and Ladders, and he just prints another label and just puts the console in.
It's taped really tight around the middle, and it's just poking out of the sides, so it's really not protected.
Which delivery service do you think he's gonna DHL?
It's
just like chuck the box at your house. Like,
no.
peace.
What it's going to be is someone on a bike, and they're going to come through, and you know how they used to drop off newspapers?
Yeah.
It's going to be Soulja Boy, Soulja Console.
Soulja Boy, tell him. Well, good luck to you, Soulja.
Yeah.
I can't knock it because you have more money than me.
Oh,
and
than a lot of us.
If you have enough money to throw away at a second console because your first one didn't succeed, then you've succeeded in life already.
Then
You're
just
fine.
like Aaliyah said, dust yourself off and try again.
Yeah. See, her ways of life have, still impact us today.
Her ways of life or her lyrics?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think she would have wrote those lyrics if she didn't believe in them.
I know a lot of people who write lyrics that they don't believe.
Aaliyah doesn't come
Drake.
off. Oh. Did you listen to his new stuff?
Not yet.
Yeah,
I'm
I
waiting.
haven't either.
I'm waiting.
I don't know if I will. There was like, internet blew up over his line about Kanye, which obviously like I looked into it just to see what it was about, and I was like, why are we freaking out over this? Because they're gonna be friends again?
Yup.
Maybe. Oh, who cares?
No one cares.
No one
But
cares.
on that note, let's talk about this other game.
Okay. I said that loud. Sorry.
So Black Mirror, the TV show, they're coming out with a game based on the TV show.
It's gonna be like VR.
Kinda. Where it's you play a certain character who has to live out basic horror scenarios, pretty much.
Okay.
So they're focusing on one facet of Black Mirror, where you have to fight demons and whatnot. Now, granted, they're probably going to give it like a very lifelike twist.
Sure.
But right now, it's looking like Dark Souls, and I forgot what other kind of game they compared it to. But my main thing is, one, so you remember Black Mirror for the most part,
Yeah.
right? If you could see yourself trying to play one of those episodes out as a video
Miley
game,
Cyrus.
which that was not an episode.
It was.
Which one?
The Miley Cyrus episode.
No, which one?
Well, yeah, it was starring Miley Cyrus, and she was like the pop star that was really sad about her life.
Oh, that's in the last season. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one yet. So explain
One
that
of
to
the
me.
God, I don't remember it entirely, but she was basically like a pop star who was just like sad about her life as a pop star, from what I remember, and like people telling her what to do and controlling her life and all that sort
So
of
her
stuff.
regular life.
I mean, yeah, probably. Okay. If I were to honestly pick one, probably the one where you fuck a pig.
I was gonna be like pig fucker. That would be a game, or let's say that's a level of one of the games that it offers, right? Because it's a doc. The game is like you're a patient, and the doctor forces you to relive these things.
Okay.
So a level is pig fucking. How do you know when you pass it?
When you come? I would assume.
But what if it's like the level of pleasure you offer the pig, or
I would assume it would get off.
right? And you realize, so that pig fucking episode, he had to fuck the pig to free the princess.
Right.
What if you didn't fuck the pig and the princess died?
Well, I figure you just restart the level. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to fuck the pig, so you might as well do it on the first try.
Eventually, you're gonna have to fuck the pig.
And the great thing is you, unlike in Black Mirror, you can just be like, well, it was VR, it wasn't real life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
I have an excuse. I had to do it. I had to play this video game. I spent $65 on it.
Yeah.
Whatever it turns out to be. That's interesting. Or I mean, they could do the one where like everyone had like the camera in their eyes.
Yes.
And like everything was like recorded that way.
And then I kind of pictured that as more of like a Sims type thing, and where it's, I love hate the Sims, but I pictured that more as like a Sims type level where you're above and you have to kind of play it out and you have to play out that drama of you're like, oh, did my wife sleep with you? Oh, no. He was questioning his wife about sleeping and her acting different. And then you have to keep rewinding it, but you have to control each character to kind of line it up. Or if you don't line it up and if you don't have sex at the right moment, it kind of all fails and falls together. It's kind of very...
I mean, they have a lot that they could do with it.
Yes.
What about the episode where everyone was like competing for like social media points and stuff like that? Right, to get on to be famous and live forever because you can't survive without points.
And
or
then
whatever
you just have to go around just trying to gain favor. What about the episode where it was a bunch of people running tasks based off of being threatened from an email says, I'm going to release such and such.
Right.
And you have
how far will you go to keep it hidden?
That's like Crazy Taxi.
And
you
then
have to keep.
Wasn't at the end of the episode like they just sent it anyway?
Yeah,
no matter
they
like
sent
what you
it.
do. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, they sent the troll face. It's like, oh no, you're still fucked up.
Yeah.
He killed somebody,
Right.
and then he was still.
That was
caught.
the kiddie porn one, right?
Yeah, it was the kid porn. No, you should have known better.
Yeah, don't watch kiddie porn.
Yeah, don't watch kiddie porn.
Watch midget porn like the rest of us.
Yeah. Okay, so my main
kidding.
one that I wanted to basically play out is the one that was also kind of social media based, but it was the one with the bees, the robotic bees that were killing people.
I don't remember that episode.
So it was the episode 6 of either season 1 or season 2. It's the one that kind of dwells on me. So it's cops. Excuse me. So it's cops. They're investigating like murders, and they realize that these robotic bees have been killing people. But the robotic bees were created by the government to help flowers. What is that called? Pollination and helping regulate the environment. And then they're like, there's no way our bees could be killing people because such and such.
Did this come out like when Murder Hornets came out?
No, it was before that. It was way before that. So, and then they're like, there's no way it can be happening. And then they were like, but it is happening. It's in both of these dead bodies. And then they start investigating. And then they find a Twitter page where it's like, hey, vote for the next person to die. And there's all these people voting on the next person to die. And each one of these
the bees of where they go. Okay.
The person running an account can control the bees. So they ended up voting on everyone who can die. And it's just a bunch of people who've done socially embarrassing things. Sure. Like, it was a rapper who was bad-mouthing, I think, gay people. And it was a woman who shot a endangered species, like
so
it's
like
woman.
Ultimate cancel culture.
Yeah,
basically.
Ultimate cancel culture, and you voted. And then at the end of the
fucked a
episode,
pig.
and towards the end of the episode, they started closing in on who it was and everything that was going. And then they actually hacked it, and they saw the logic behind it. And then all the bees, because there was billions of bees, they were just robotic bees like that. At the end of the episode, the bees attacked everyone who voted. So millions of people died. They're like, oh, so you want to vote for other people to die? The bees will come get you next.
Was it Oprah all along? She's just like, bees.
No.
Open the box, Joe!
You get a bee.
It was one of
you
the
get a
guys.
bee.
It was one of the designers of he was someone in the government. So it was basically Anthony Mackie and Behind the Wire, but he did it much better.
So it's ultimately like, ultimate cancel culture.
Yeah.
But if you also contributed to canceling people, you got canceled too.
Oh yeah, you died. You
Telling everybody to just cut it out. Mind your business.
But yeah, that was one of my
Mind
favorite
your
episodes. But that would be like
Business. That's the name of the game.
yeah, mind your business. But it's the bees from the Bee Movie on the front.
Oh God! You have to have sex with a human female. That was the weirdest movie. Why was that like acceptable?
The 2000s were a crazy time, man.
Like, why did everyone just like, they're okay with Jerry Seinfeld as a bee falling in love with a woman and presumably having sex with her?
Presumably?
I mean, yeah, they did. For sure.
For sure?
For sure, for sure.
For sure, for sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in the Snyder
I haven't...
Cut. It's 4 hours long. The first hour and a half is the actual movie, and then it's 2.5 hours of just bee sex.
you mean making honey?
Yes.
All right.
Pollination.
Pollination, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it for gaming.
In beading. Like inbreed. But yeah. Thank you for both of those.
All right. So we're sponsored by Giraffe Cups.
When you need a cup and you like giraffes. I need to come up with a better slogan for it.
Don't stick your neck out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Cheers.
Hey, cheers, babes.
All right. So you want to jump into our actual topics now?
Yeah.
All right.
If you're still with us,
If you're still with us.
you've made it to the content you've actually been waiting for.
Pew, pew, pew.
It's TV show review time.
Hey.
right.
Let's
do WandaVision.
All
We
right.
got 2 episodes we got to cover.
Yes, we do.
We have episode 8 and episode 9. Both episodes were very story moving forward, like made a lot of progress and like what the hell is going on.
'Cause
So
most episodes are story moving, but yeah, I get it.
right, but like very revealing, I
Yes,
guess.
I agree.
Where the rest of the episodes were kind of like a little bit at a time. So
It was revealing like Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl.
and she got canceled.
Yeah. Like
All
the
y'all
show
would have been
should
attacked by
canceled.
bees. No way. They invited Justin back,
Yeah, they should.
and he issued an apology 15 years later
Yeah. You know why he ain't got invited back?
because he's a white male.
Yeah.
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 Give Janet her flowers, everybody. She should be back. She's an amazing performer. I saw her in the Unbreakable tour. It was just, and I had tickets to go see her on the tour that she was supposed to be doing before COVID hit, where she did like the 30th anniversary of oh my god, can't even remember what. Anyways, she's a great performer. We're just gonna ignore it.
Yeah.
Okay.
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Okay.
So episode 8 did kind of so we picked up where Agnes, they're in
Flashback episode.
Yep. So we're in her little cave, and she has all the runes, and Wanda can't do any magic because of the runes, which comes into handy in the next episode.
Does it?
It does.
Full circle.
But basically, Agnes is trying to figure out what is Wanda and where does she get her powers, and kind of what sparked this hex that Wanda put on this town. So we do a deep dive into her past of all the sad shit that has basically happened in her life.
And you get to see why the town was created how it was, why it went through sitcoms.
Why it did a sitcom thing, which that was like her favorite memory with her family before they died, was just having movie night or TV show night with her family and watching different sitcoms. So that's where it all kind of came about. We jump into her heartbreak when Vision died.
Yep. Well, it was her brother dying first.
Right. At Sokovia.
Yeah, so her brother dying first, and then Vision was there being all robotic and trying to be there for her.
Beep, boop, beep, feelings.
And then they were really close, and he was like, I'm here for you if you want.
If you want to talk about it, she's like, that's the last thing I fucking want to do.
And then they were really close, and they're like, just sit on her face. Like, who's sitting on whose face here? Because it just needs to happen already. Because this was just too much.
Yeah, but he was there for her, and that's when they started falling in love with
That's
each
the
other.
trap, you guys. Don't be there for people. I mean, be there for people
To an extent.
for
For your own agenda.
your own agenda. If you learn anything from this pod, it's be the
Yeah. You always look out for your own.
and
People are disposable.
and like Aaliyah said, you're one in a.
I mean, Yeah, out of context, but sure, she did say that.
Yep, you definitely. But yeah, and then the last stage, it was when Vision died, and she did the whole flashback of going back through the whole scenario of her pretty much going to Hayward, Hayward's office, seeing Vision dismantled below. And her,
she was like, I want to bury him. And he was like, nah. Like, that's a lot of money down there. And no.
$2 billion.
Right.
How do they put a price tag on that, by the way?
I mean, he's made out of what was
Fake metal?
Yeah.
Vibranium?
Yeah, vibranium, which per ounce, and they weigh
Per
it.
ounce? Yep.
I'm assuming that's how it gets its wealth, is per ounce. And then he even references, like, also you can create things out of thin air, so no, we're not going to hand them over to you. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, she didn't even realize, like, what her powers
Yeah, like,
really
you're
entail
one
at
of the
that point.
few people who can create out of nothing. We're not letting you get your $8 billion man back.
Jerry Seinfeld has joined us, everyone. Open your legs.
There's a B, you guys? Definitely not open my legs for a B to get in there.
That B is giving off hella heterosexual vibes anyway, so I don't think that he'd be going for either one of us.
Aren't
anyway.
all B's male?
I think the worker bees are the ones that fly around and everything like that are definitely male.
Yeah, okay.
And they all just serve the queen, which is like the best setup ever for her. Okay, and then we get into, at the end of the episode, like how the Westview hex comes into play, and I cried. Oh my god!
Really?
I teared up. I teared up twice in that episode. The one where she's sitting on the bed talking about her brother, and Vision comes in and he's like consoling her, and he gives that line of like, "What is grief but love persevering?" And I was just like, "Oh, that's deep." And then when she's driving around, and you're like, "Oh, what is she going?" Because she had the envelope after she left. And then she goes, and then she opens it up, and he had that note that was like, "For us to grow old in," and it was their house, and it was the foundation. And then she, like, lets out all the emotion, and then she creates her little reality. But I cried at that point. That was sad.
Yeah, she screamed and created a fucking universe. How powerful can you be?
Huge. So, and then that basically led Agnes to realize that she is the infamous Scarlet Witch from her book of magic spells. I forget what it's specifically called.
Darkhold.
The Darkhold. And then that basically ends. She calls her Scarlet Witch, which is the first time that she's ever been actually called that because Fox had ownership of the name, I guess, apparently up until that point. And then the final episode was finally action. We got some fun fight scenes.
And at the end of that episode, there was a white vision.
The white vision got created.
That Hayward, it was basically old Vision come back to life.
Yeah, so they used all the vibranium from the old Vision. They did a Stark reactor.
No, they used Wanda's power to re-trigger.
But they powered him with the arc reactor that like Iron Man basically uses to power all his suits. And then basically had all the powers of Vision, but none of the memories.
None of the memories.
So they just programmed him to kill the real Vision.
Yeah, the fake Vision.
The one that Wanda created.
Yeah,
the one that's in the...
Which doesn't make any sense at all, but
the colored Vision.
Yeah, the colored Vision. I mean, you know that. We can't have Visions being colored around here. So...
They already have one black person on the show. Disney won't allow two.
That's very true. So that whole last episode, all right, it was an hour long, and thank God they finally put some depth on that episode. I really enjoyed the fighting.
The Vision versus Vision.
The Vision versus Vision, the Witch versus Witch. But my first thing that I thought of when this was finally happening, I'm like, this sounds like a Flash storyline. Just because Flash was like, you know what, we can't think of anything creative. You fight the same version of yourself, slightly different. So it's a witch versus slightly powerful witch, older witch versus newer witch, dead Vision versus alive Vision, and I'm
Right.
just like, definitely a Flash storyline, 100%.
The Vision fight was cool though. Like the
Oh,
way
yeah.
that they
No,
were
no,
like
it was
disappearing within each other to like instead of dodging, they would just like
Yes.
go transparent.
I 1,000% love this better than any sort of that storyline, but I'm just like, this y'all could have did a little bit better, but.
Wanda did her whole I'm gonna distract you with some hand movements and then hit you with a car move. She did that to Tony Stark and I think Civil War, and she's like, "Yeah, it worked then.
Yeah,
I think
it worked.
It'll work now." And
It always works.
boom, sedan to the face.
It always works.
You know, I was pissed off when we found out that Scarlet Witch drives a Buick.
Oh my god.
I don't like
bitch, make a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like maybe that doesn't fit her personality, but
Or
like
fly.
you got Avengers money.
Yeah, you do.
Like you can afford something other than a Buick.
Or even make it. Make your own car brand.
I mean, at least it was red. It was on brand.
Yeah, that
at
is
least
true.
for
That
that.
is
But like a Buick, come on.
Okay. All right.
I would
so,
accept a Tesla
So
at the
let's.
least.
So which twist do we want to talk about first? The Vision fight or the witch on witch fight?
Let's do Vision first.
So the Vision fight, when they were fighting and dodging, they stopped the fake Vision that's in color.
In the library. I
Yeah, in the library, hit the other Vision and was like, "Dude, what are you doing? What are you here for? My objective is to kill the real Vision." And then the other one was like,
Logic time.
Logic, let me throw a book at you. And they didn't throw a book, but he brought up, like, do you know Pauthius theory?
Yeah, it was
and
like
the
a
other one was
philosophy
like,
thing.
yeah, of course. I'm
course I am.
smart like you. And then they're like, uh-huh. And then they basically went into, if an old boat was replaced with new pieces, is that
But
the
it
same
still had
boat?
one original piece.
Is it the same? No, it's not.
And
then why are
would
you
the,
trying
and
to
would the
kill me? Yeah.
new boat still be
the old
the
boat?
old boat because it has some parts of it
Yeah.
at some point,
Yeah.
basically.
No.
And then it was basically like, oh, they're both
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
he was like, stop fighting me.
Yeah, bro. It's like, this is what I'm trying to tell you, man. We're the same.
We're the same. And then he gives him, he
Memories.
unlocks the memories.
Yeah.
And then basically the white vision goes away. And
Well, he unlocked white rogue vision, and he flew away to wherever he could have possibly gone.
Vision Blanco. I think that's what he would prefer to be called. I mean, if his programming is still intact, maybe he had to go destroy himself. I'm sure whatever, I don't think that's the case, but
No.
maybe.
No.
I'm guessing what happens is he's going to go do some research, figure out himself now that he has memories,
And then
he'll
join the Winter Soldier.
he'll come back in a movie.
One of these, Loki or one of these.
and
next
then
shows coming
maybe
out.
him and Scarlet Witch can love each other again.
Yeah, hopefully. But would you have sex with your dead husband or dead?
Absolutely. I'm a necrophiliac. I would have sex with any dead thing.
It's showtime.
That was another episode of Bed by Night, you guys. That's a little too gross for me. But okay.
No,
All
I would
right,
not have
that's-
sex with my dead husband.
Okay.
I
if he
first have
comes back
to
alive,
find someone that would love me,
Would you?
which that's the hard part.
When Laura Moon came back, would you have sex with her
No.
for the fourth time that she's come back alive?
No, thank you.
Okay. So that happened, and then
Which on which?
which on which? Basically, it was the whole thing. So Agatha's true power is she can absorb. She's the Kirby of witches. She can absorb, but also while draining.
Old
So it's
spongehead ass.
it's a very warlock type move where you can absorb.
Which we saw that in the episode prior when we went back
Yes.
to Salem, where she absorbed the power of all the witches
And her mom's.
and her mom. Yep.
Yeah. And then, so basically in the fight, she was absorbing Wanda's power, and Wanda was like, fuck it, take it anyway. And then she was like, yeah, I'm gonna. And they were in the middle, so they was getting to the peak or the precipice of the fight. They were in the sky. Wanda was tearing apart her realm, her reality. and she was throwing
Energy balls.
energy
basically.
fireballs at Agatha.
It reminded me of like Dragon Ball Z when they're just like flying around and
Yeah.
they're shooting.
But this was
But they were red.
yeah, the red and purple, and she was like put.
Her aim was terrible, but
Terrible.
But it was for a purpose.
Yeah.
She was hitting all the different sides of the thing to plant her runes.
Yeah. So she kind of looks drained, and then Agatha powers up and was
beat.
like, "You don't know what you did," and then all of a sudden Agatha was like, "You don't know what you did, and I'm gonna cast a spell." And then when she tries to cast a spell, what's her name? Scarlet Witch. What's her name?
Scarlet
Vision.
mean?
Wanda. Wanda was like, "Oh, bitch, I know what I did." And then you see it turn to every
All the
wall
runes
of the
turn on.
there's runes on the wall. She was like, "Only the witch who casted the runes can cast spells
She's like,
here,
you
bitch."
clever bitch.
Clever girl.
And then Wanda absorbed all the energy back because how? She's a fucking monster. That's
And
how.
she got beat for the gods. The
Yep.
life came back to her, contoured her face, so she didn't look so haggard anymore.
She got a crown.
She's and then we got to see her turn into like get the costume from like the comics, and so she had her Scarlet Witch costume.
Yep.
Which when she got the costume and turned on, it was kind of a flashback reference when she touched the Mind Stone in the flashback episode 8.
Yep.
And then she saw in the yellow, she saw her outline
Yep.
of it,
Yep.
and then that was the exact same figures. So,
And also that was her Halloween costume a few
Yeah,
episodes
yeah.
before. Yeah.
and then she drains Agnes of all of her power, and then they go back down to Earth, and she basically was like, yeah, I'm going to keep you inside this hex, and you're just going to be the nosy neighbor for the rest of your life. And she's like, you're going to need me in the future. And then she's like, I know where to find you.
Yep.
Basically referencing like, yeah, she'll be back
Yeah.
in a future movie
Good.
or something like that.
Definitely.
Which obviously in the comics, like she was a mentor of hers. So I'm sure they'll probably tap into that a little bit to help her like gain some understanding of how to do her witch shit. I thought Catherine Hahn was amazing in this series. Like she kind of always plays that quirky character, and she wasn't like my favorite role of hers was when she was the political advisor in Parks and Rec. In the later seasons when Leslie
I can't
Knope-
remember any of the later seasons right now.
It was in the season where Leslie Knope starts running for office.
Okay.
And then she ends up being the like the political advisor for her opponent, and she just like fucks with Leslie and Ben like every chance that she can.
I can see it.
And she's just like, in her typical fashion, she's always just like, oh, it's nothing personal, but I just put like out a story that like you raped monkeys. And, and she's like, but that's politics. And she's like, you want to sit down and have some breakfast together? And like, just like in typical Catherine Hahn fashion.
I'm not saying that Leslie Knope is a dog murderer, per se. I just think that her actions raise some questions. Like, for example, is she a dog murderer?
But I don't know, it was cool to see her kind of go like full dark in here, but still have like her comedic side of everything. I thought it was really well cast for what they were trying to do with her.
So have you downloaded Agatha All Along yet?
No. I mean, I've listened to it. I mean, I don't download anything. I stream. But I have
Stream
listened
is
to
the
it.
word you want to use. Okay. Good.
That's what it's called. Streaming music. Music streaming.
You're too rich to steal. Okay.
Well, I buy artists that I enjoy. I'll buy their music, but like Disney doesn't need any more money. And I'm sure Agatha or Catherine Hahn doesn't get any part of the royalty. But it's crazy that I went to number 1. Like as soon as it was released, I was like, the gays.
So I heard a trap remix to it already, and I hate that I did. People are very creative out there,
Yeah,
and I
they
really,
are.
really do enjoy that. But yeah, that was WandaVision. So where do you think it's gonna go?
Well, so there was 2 cutscenes at the end. So one was with Monica which we saw Monica Rambeau's power.
Yeah.
That we didn't reference at all. But okay. And
Was she Gumby? Come
Well,
on.
we also at the end of the episode, she basically destroys the hex. I'm guessing up until, like, she probably kept it still on Agnes to keep her controlled. Everything else got destroyed, which meant that Vision and her 2 kids die, quote unquote, disappear.
They didn't exist, yo.
Didn't exist, but did they?
No.
No, because, okay, first cutscene, Monica Rambeau gets called into the theater, and then it ends up being, you find out that basically Nick Fury is being like, hey, I want to talk to you. Let's go up to my space station that's up in space, which I think you find out at the end of Captain Marvel that he's up there. And then there's a second cutscene. Did you watch that one at the end of?
I didn't make it that far, but I heard about it.
Okay, so second cutscene after all of the credits where Scarlet Witch is in this secluded cabin somewhere in the mountains by a lake, and she's kind of has 2 versions of herself. There's one that's like in the house cooking tea or boiling water for tea, and then Scarlet Witch is back in the bedroom, and she's kind of hovering there, and she's in her little, she has the book, the Darkhold open, and she's doing her little spell, but at the very end of it, you hear her kids yelling out for help, and it snaps her out. So I think that's probably where it's going to lead for...
She's reanimating dead people, y'all. They're not real.
But in the comics, I think they were both a piece of Mephisto, which we've talked a little bit about in previous episodes. And she was able to make them out of reality as well as Vision, or like turn them into reality.
So what it always ends up being is when you create something, it takes something away from something else.
Yep.
So that's always what it ends up being. You saw it in Wonder Woman. When you create something, you lose something. But no, it's going to come back. I want to see how they write this for the future.
Obviously, I know they've confirmed that she's in the next Doctor Strange movie, which I think is after the Black Widow movie. That's supposed to be the next one that comes out. So I'm sure we will continue her storyline there. But he's supposed to be. Remember when Agnes was like, the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Supreme Leader? That's supposed to be Doctor Strange as the Supreme Leader. So I think she is probably going to seek out Doctor Strange, and then that's going to be the whole plot probably of that movie.
Good.
I'm sure at some point they will fight each other, and then they'll end up teaming up, would be my assumption.
Okay.
But I'm excited to see where it goes. I mean, I thought, to me, honestly, I think I mentioned this in the previous episode, I think this is like the most interesting piece of writing that Marvel has done for me specifically. Just really not knowing anything about, like, it was the most bizarre and the most, like, you couldn't really grasp what was going on until the end of it, but like, you wouldn't have been, I don't think they would have been able to accomplish it in like a movie, like a Scarlet Witch movie,
Right.
as well as they could doing, 9 episodes of a TV show that they did. So I don't know. WandaVision was dope. I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see where they go. It's kind of a cool way to enter, what is this, phase 4 of the Avengers saga. Yeah. So, yeah.
God, I can't wait.
Yeah. So that was WandaVision.
She's reanimating dead people, you guys.
Yeah.
It's not going to end well. It never does.
Like, time will tell.
All right. So that was it for Wanda. We're going to move on to American Gods, an equally as great show. No, not really. But still, it stays, keeps on our path that we're saying. I feel the alcohol.
Yeah, it's usually about that time.
So we have 2 episodes to recap. The last one actually came out today, but I haven't had a chance to watch it. Right. So episode 6, right?
Episode 6 and 7.
Episode 6 and 7.
Yep.
Episode 6, Mr. Wednesday, is still in the old folks' home. Or is it the crazy house?
I think it's an old folks home, but also
Old crazy house.
it's basically a little bit of both.
This episode's basically about building. It was just a long story. It was not a lot of action. There was
No.
not a lot of anything. The only real storyline here is that Mr. Wednesday lost his wife, his ex-wife,
Demeter to Tyr,
to Tyr.
who's I think his brother in the
In the Greek,
Norse mythology.
Yeah, North mythology. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was basically like they kind of went through the love story, the triangle of Tyr, Odin, and Demeter. And then Wednesday was trying to win her back by doing some sort of shadow puppet storytelling type thing. And then that storyline basically ended with Demeter being like, nah, I'm going to leave this earth.
It's like, fuck all
we're good, yeah. Like, y'all ruined me. But yeah, I think that episode was mostly about Wednesday trying to woo her over, which she agreed to, but then she basically just pieced out at the end. It was like, nah, I'm not
she
gonna do
didn't agree to it. She saw it as like,
I will entertain it.
yeah, like that's all it was. It was like
You're not going to leave me alone, so
might
I'll
as
just
well.
say yes.
Yeah.
And then she, at the end of the episode, she turned into leaves, flowers, butterflies, and just kind of drifted away.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then was that basically the whole episode?
That was basic. It was a lot of other story of what was it?
Did Laura Moon do anything in that episode? Her and Salim.
At the end, they ran into Mr. World.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep, and then that led into episode 7.
And where it starts getting better, you guys. So
yeah, I think up until this point, there hasn't been a lot of plot moving forward. So yeah, but yeah, at the end of the episode, you're right. Laura Moon and Salim meet up with Mr. World, who is Machete. And what happened? Oh, and then you also see at the end of that episode, Shadow Moon sees the kid from the diner.
yeah, jumping out of a window.
And he's wearing, or not wearing, but he drops like a woman's bra. And then obviously there's been a person that they think is linked to the murders that's also been stealing women's clothing. So now Shadow's in a dilemma because he's like, ooh, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think also in that episode, that was the episode where he was having dinner with his landlord.
That's true.
And then the landlord's sister shows up, and
season 2.
It ends up being the girl that he had hitched a ride with
In season 2.
earlier, and she knows a little bit more about his true story. And then she keeps a secret.
Which is not a good sister move.
No, she chose bro before
Hose?
sister.
Bro?
She chose the mister before her sister.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. That's what we're going to go with.
I mean, it rhymed.
It did. It did. All right. But yeah. And then we move on to episode 7. And it opens up where? With Wednesday driving in the car with his assistant.
Yep.
Driving along, the assistant being annoying, and then just talking, Mr. Wednesday being very, very quiet. She was like, talk to me. I know something's going on. Talk to me. And then a burning body slams in front of the car.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Who sings that?
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And then...
Is it? That would tie in perfectly.
Yeah, it would have, right? And then Mr. Wednesday gets out, sees who the body is, immediately knows who it is for some reason, looks around, the girl gets out, freaks out, as one might do, and
If
all
a
of a
body
sudden...
dropped from the sky on fire.
Yeah, what I didn't like, she was immediately like, what did you get me into? Like, how did she know that it had to do with it, right? You know, I'm like, yeah, put it better, but... He did acknowledge it, and he was just more like...
It's like, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, my bad. Get in the car. I'll explain everything to you as you go. Right. Then they pull off, and then what did it jump into? Did it jump into a Bilquist scene, or did it jump into...
I know at least for her storyline, then it shows up to, it goes to Shadow Moon,
Okay.
who is in the diner, and
Yep.
he's looking at the police sheriff across or the sheriff across the road, and he's like, I don't know, basically debating like, should I tell the sheriff or should I not?
Right.
And then the nosy town
A woman.
woman is basically like,
She's like the woman version of Gilbert Gottfried.
Audible.com presents 50 Shades of Grey, the erotic best-selling novel read by Gilbert Gottfried.
My inner goddess has stopped dancing and is staring too, open-mouthed and drooling slightly.
just a Diagu,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, they have a similar voice. don't they?
Very nasally and
And then
Yep.
he was like, yeah, I have something to tell him, but it involves this boy. And she's like, yeah, you should just be honest. So then he goes over there and he tells the sheriff, like, hey, I saw homeboy stealing clothes. He might be related to, this whole thing that's going down with people dying in the town. And then they go and interrogate the boy, and then you just find out that he likes to cross-dress.
yeah.
And
And he was
had-
upset.
and he had an alibi that checked out. And so we're basically still at a loss.
But now we know that someone cross-dresses. So, I mean, that was a very
Important
important
plot
plot. Important plot, you guys.
And then I think the only other thing really related to the killing of, the different girls in the town was Shadow goes ice skating with his landlord, Angela from Power, and he falls, and I think he hits his head, and he goes into like this little godly
Days.
daze,
Daze.
and it's the Hindu god.
That's racist.
She's a Hindu,
Indian.
but she's Hindu. Isn't
There's
that,
different.
That's a
there's
god
different.
in the Hindu.
There's
no,
different religions for
but
Indians.
there's a god. It's that god from the Hindu religion.
No.
The elephant with like the 6 arms.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's like specific.
You're right.
It's not supposed to be racist if it is. Sorry.
Don't cancel us.
And then there's basically there's a gold coin that comes up from below the ice, and then the coin goes straight over to the car, and then it kind of cuts out from there, but kind of alluding that something to do with the murder is related to the car that's sitting on the ice. And then that's kind of where we leave off, at least on that storyline. And then, you want to talk about Laura Moon and Salim negotiating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So at the end of the last episode, they run into Mr. World, and then you see them next in Mr. World's office, basically negotiating the death of Mr. Wednesday. And
Because Laura's whole plot this season is she wants to kill him.
yeah, it's just revenge. I'm back from the dead, so to make the most of it, murder.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
So they're in this next scene, and they're basically Mr. World is being pretty dominant in a conversation, and Laura is about to agree to anything. Salim pulls her to the side. It's like, hey, let me negotiate for you.
I'm a cab driver. I can help with your negotiation.
Yeah, and then she's like, I'm
Trust
a
me.
woman. I don't need you. And then he's like, I get it, but you need me. I feel like you need me. And she was like, oh,
Fine.
okay. And so they go back in. They do a lot of negotiating. No, excuse me. He says some things. He's like, we would like protection. We want removal, safe removal. And we want to make sure we stay away from harm. He says we, but he means just for Laura.
Yeah.
And then Laura's like, okay, I want all of that, but I also want it on myself, the cabbie, and then also Shadow Moon. And then Mr. World just like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Let's get this all in writing. And then also, if you fail, we murder all of you. And then Laura immediately was like, yeah, no, that's perfect.
Sure.
I thought that was a given. You didn't have to say that. We knew. And then Salim is like, nigga, what? Excuse me? You did just not agree to that. And she's like, no, it's okay. I'm a murderer in my last life. Remember?
Right.
And then that was and then they leave, and then Mr. World immediately turns angry.
Yeah.
So there's something awry there that we will see in a little bit, I believe. So that was that scene, and then we jump into Bilquis running into the midwife for
Shadow's delivery.
Yeah.
When Shadow's mom was having Odin's baby, which is Shadow. And Shadon. Which I honestly I can't remember what the significance of that was.
It's Bilquis gaining power and or knowledge. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's another story that's probably going to unwrap in the last episode.
Because Bilquis has kind of played both sides a little bit.
Yeah.
She's gone with the old gods. She's done some stuff with the new gods. She has this spider web sort of interaction with Tech Boy, where she's kind of almost implanted like a virus within him, and that's what's causing him to kind of malfunction this season. Which, when you watch episode 8, you'll see a little bit more of that going on.
Oh, great.
But yeah, so, and then Tech Boy is kind of realizing that he can sense emotions now, and that's causing him to malfunction because he just doesn't know how to process any of that, and he's trying to figure out, like, how can I get rid of this glitchy thing that's going on in my body.
But yeah, back to Bilquis.
What about it? What do you want to talk about? She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Talented.
Definitely.
You'll see her acting chops come out a little bit more in episode 8, which is it's wild. It's cool.
Oh my God! Stop talking about
I'm
it.
just saying.
Stop talking about it.
Just watch.
Okay, so
watch episodes as soon as they get released, like I do.
I didn't have time. All right. So how did the episode end? Episode 7 with Mr. Wednesday.
I don't remember.
He gets dropped off.
Oh yeah, we just talked about that.
We just talked about it.
We were like researching, like how did this end?
We didn't research, guys.
I told you.
We have spot on 2020 vision memory. So
my memory is very much like 2020, and it's a blur, and I don't remember shit.
A shot.
Yeah.
So Mr. Wednesday, he gets dropped off. So no, the whole episode, he's looking for Johan because he figured out who drops the body in front of the car, and it's Johan. In the few episodes before, it's the metal band member who is one of his followers that he sent home, Marilyn Manson, who he sent home because he was being destructive. So he figured out it was Johan. He first tries to go see where Johan lives. Johan's not there. And then here he figures out, his roommate, Johan's roommate, says that he's going to the dentist. And the dentist was identified in the earlier episodes as Tyr. And this basically gets... He goes to Tyr's office. And it has some creepy song being played, and Wednesday is just walking through, sees blood, keeps following throughout all the blood, finally gets to the office, sees Johan's body ripped open with a note on the inside saying,
"Meet me at the wolf's den."
Yeah,
basically.
I have your most loved one. And then while this is also playing, you see a cut back to Shadow and Tears with Shadow, basically saying, "I need you to come with me."
Yep.
So now Tyr has his son. And now it's going to be a showdown between Tyr and Odin in episode 8, which has not come out yet to see. So,
it hasn't.
That being said, it sets it up for the next episode, and I can't wait to watch that when it comes out.
Lucky for you, it's out.
Fuck you.
It's great.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. Laura's on her mission to kill Wednesday. Tyr's on his mission to kill Wednesday. Billiquist probably wants to kill Wednesday. I think everyone... I mean, obviously Odin and / Wednesday control everyone's storyline, and he is the ultimate puppet master. But basically everyone wants to kill him?
Yeah, man. It's like It's like everyone hates Chris, but it's everyone hates the god who
Odin.
fucked them over
Yeah.
at one point in their lives. So yeah, I get
Whether
it.
that's 3 weeks ago or 3
A millennia,
centuries
yeah, a millennia ago.
Either way.
All right, well that's gonna wrap up the TV shows.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to watch it and talk about episode 8
It's like
in
we
4 weeks.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a small break and then
Yeah,
let's jump
well-
into movies.
Okay.
Cause I gotta go get water.
Why don't we just end this and we'll start a new episode?
Hey. All right. Thank you guys for watching this episode.
Bye.
Bye.